Obviously, it's from the comic book, and this is a modernized, revisited version of this, focusing on the metaphor of a kid becoming an adult. And so I think it's the idea of the metaphor of how do people come out of childhood or being a teenager, and what are the questions when you become an adult, and how do you deal with the good and the evil in the world. And that's what the main character is confronted with all the time, and perfecting his abilities as a good human being. It's overlap of the two, and finding that, well, one of the characters, Vandermark, for instance, out of trying so hard to be a good character, becomes evil because he is pushed into doing things because of his loyalty, which are outside the values of the Phantom. Oh yeah, that was the fear of everybody, of that we would, even I guess the network and everybody, we were worried, oh my God, what is going to be that suit? And we had to modernize it, obviously, because the weapons of the other side, the evil side, have evolved. And so we came up with this stylized version of it and avoided the spandex, yes. We have a lot of sets. That's one of the one of the elements of the difficulty of this shooting is we have so many different sets. This is the living quarters where the original Phantom lived, and the scenes we're doing now is when he discovers that all of his ancestors, all of the Phantoms lived here, and he revisits his own history when he visits this location. And he realizes that, yes, he really comes from that lineage. We've built rooftops in studios. We're going to use rear projection. We have, for the parkour, all the parkour scenes, we're shooting in industrial warehouses. We've shot in many, many, many locations around Montreal and in Montreal. Well, I did a lot of that, and I watched some films and documentaries, but also for me as a director is to unformat my mind and give freedom to find a language for these films. I think that the actors must not feel the weight of all our technical problems, and you have to give them the freedom to be able to move as much as you can. And also for Ryan, who's a young actor, very good actor, but a young actor, you have to be able to give them the freedom to move around and evolve. We're kind of inventing it live. You have to give them the freedom to explore different things. So that means also physically giving them the possibility to move around and not be to have constraints with the technical problems of. But also, I think this film needs that freedom of style, and it's as well for the camera as for the actors. Well, first, I think it's going to be a very entertaining, fun piece to watch because there's so much action. But at the same time, it's really character-driven, and there is something to follow in the evolution of the Phantom and also the other characters. And so it's a combination of fun entertainment and action and the psychological development piece. It's begging for that. It's like a sponge. You can see all kinds of dynamics within the characters and the situations. It's when we are doing it, we're day 13th of shooting, we feel that there's so many dynamics and potential. Yeah, it could really be a series. Yeah. Well, the foundations of the whole story of a character who wants to fight evil, but at the same time, in that fight, does not want to lose his values and still be an ethical person. And that's the combat, the fight of the original Phantom, that within the fight against evil, you don't become contaminated by evil, and you remain someone with good values. And that's what we're doing. Well, I don't know about all the other superheroes, but I really think that not relying on supernatural forces, that he's basically human. What makes him a superhero is the fact that he is so human. It's being deeply human makes him that very special person. No, there's none of that. The only thing that he has is that his costume can deflect bullets. But that's all we do. He's got no weapons, no special anything, really. It's just really his costume that protects him. But otherwise, all the rest of his force comes from within himself, his mind and his heart.